friends, it's Emily with burlapkitchen.com, and today we're going to make something fun with the Dollar Tree Christmas tree wood cutout. So the first thing I did was I cut out some furring strips. I just cut them to size. All I did, you guys know I never measure anything. I just laid my Christmas tree on them and started cutting down. I needed 4 of them, and then one, I had a smaller piece there for the back. So these are just scrap pieces of wood I had laying in my garage. I just pre-drilled some holes, and now I'm going to go ahead and put some screws in. You want to pre-drill because if you don't pre-drill, you may split your wood. So I'm just going to go ahead and add these screws in, and you have to tighten them up sometimes to get them right. So now I'm going to take some Minwax in the color Dark Walnut. This is a stain, and I am just going to stain this entire project here, front and back, of these boards that I just screwed together. So we're just going to stain this. I'm using an old rag. You definitely want to use some gloves. I get questions about these gloves a good bit. I get these at Walmart in the cleaning section. I love them. I use them all the time. And they're really cute designs. So I'm just going to keep on staining. I did front and back. Now that we got everything stained, I'm going to give it a quick dry with my heat gun. And now I'm going to stain the rest of my project. This is just a little 2x4. Again, I did not measure anything. I just held everything up and kind of eyeballed it. This was actually a scrap piece I had laying in my wood bin. And now I'm going to stain this Dollar Tree Christmas tree cutout that I have. So just make sure everything is nice and dry. Once it is nice and dry, then I'm going to go ahead and give this tree 2 coats of white chalk paint. You definitely want to paint it with chalk paint because when we go on to our next step and we Mod Podge, sometimes the tissue paper is too thin and the stain color will come through. And I don't want that. I want it to be nice and a bright white when I go to Mod Podge my tissue paper on. You'll see what I mean here in a minute. So now that I have that on, I'm going to give it a nice dry. Then I got this cute tissue paper at Walmart, and I'm going to use the polka dot for this project. So you see when I lay that on, the white comes through. If I had the stain, it probably would have came through the dark stain and you wouldn't have seen it that well. So now I'm going to go ahead and add a good layer of Mod Podge. Make sure you thin it out pretty good here. And then I'm going to take my tissue paper and just lay it over. You got to be careful. This part's a little bit tricky. You're going to probably get some wrinkles in it. I don't mind wrinkles. I think wrinkles just mean it's homemade. So the wrinkles don't bother me too bad. But if they do, maybe try the iron method. I've seen a few people use an iron. If you have any suggestions, go ahead and drop them below in the comments for other people to try. Once I get that Mod Podged on, then I'm going to go around it with my scissors just to kind of help make it easier when I take my sanding block. And I just took a sanding block around the edges. Then I'm going to take my clippers and I am going to clip the base of this tree off. We don't need that. And then I'm going to finish sanding. I'll go ahead and link those scissors in the comments because I get so many questions about them. Now I'm going to take a screw and just put it in that hole in the top of the tree. And then I am going to hot glue this 2x4 here to the bottom. I actually did my frame upside down. I wanted to do it the other way so the gap was at the bottom and not the top. But it's okay. It's going to work fine. Just my screw at the top for the tree went through. So I'm just adding some screws to the 2x4 and then I added one to the bottom of the tree so it didn't move on me. Then I have these wood stars. I believe they came from Hobby Lobby. And I am going to paint it black just to sort of match the theme of the tree. And then I'm going to give it a dry and a light sand. Once I get it sanded, then I'm just going to go ahead and hot glue it to the top to cover the screw. So now I'm going to add some pine here to the bottom. And these are just pine picks that I cut apart. And I have this little tiny mason jar I found in my cupboard. And I'm just going to take my staple gun to staple the pine and a few berries in place. So if you look at Walmart, they have tons of fun pine picks you can find. Then I have some baking twine, I believe this is called. I'm just going to wrap it around my jar a few times just to give it a fun Christmas look. And hot glue it there to the back. And then I'm going to add some E6000 and hot glue. The E6000 just allows a stronger hold. And then I'm adding some fake snow to this jar. And then once I get the fake snow added to the jar, I found these little pine cones and I thought they'd be cute mixed in around the berries just to give an extra rustic feel to this fun craft. So I just hot glued them in. And then I'm just going to add a little tea light and bury it down here in the snow. And that is it, guys. This craft turned out so cute. I absolutely love it. I hope you guys enjoyed this project as much as I did. For more fun DIYs like this, please visit burlappkitchen.com. Thank you.